Okay, so in part one, you saw me cut down the trees and prepare them, like cutting off all the branches and stuff to be put together for the teepee. And for some reason my video kept ending, and so I've already cut the third one down. For the base of the third one, I did a triangle base, and I've already tied the ends together. And so here it is so far. I just tied it together with some paracord with a random knot and a square knot in the slack of the line. Then I took these sticks. This stick here is a forked stick, so it goes up here and here. And then I just kind of rested the other two sticks in the direction of the forks. So that way that it's kind of, that stick supports the others, but then the other sticks also support that stick. So they all kind of rely on each other for support. Correct my phone here. All right, so I've tied it all together. You can see this is just paracord I got. Some tealish, doesn't have to be any specific color. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prepare the bottom where you'll be sitting and possibly sleeping, whatever you're gonna be doing in your fort. And pulling up roots that stick up out of the ground will be another main thing. Covering the ground with leaves, like in our area where we are right now, is a very leafy area. So what I'm gonna do is put my phone on here and show me just gathering some leaves from behind me here. There's a bunch of leaves there, so correct my phone. Here you'll just see me in the background grabbing these leaves and stuff. And these leaves are gonna help by giving us a solid something that you could lay or sit on to kind of keep you off of the ground, because the cold dirt will kind of take your body temperature and heat away from you if you're on just the dirt. So anything like these, like dried leaves, pine needles, dead grass, piles of alive grass will work. Really anything that's dead or alive, like leaves, dead leaves, alive leaves, grass, pine needles, anything really that can be soft on your skin for when you're laying down and not injure you, really. Like if you were laying down on a bunch of sticks, they'd poke you and they'd be uncomfortable. But leaves, though, on the other hand, and pine needles and those things are soft. So it gives you a soft basis too. And the leaves will also keep you off the ground. And like I said earlier, just the cold dirt laying on it by itself can take away your body temperature. And then also, once I put the sticks, kind of making it more of a teepee, those leaves, putting leaves or moss or tarp or something around that too, can also help you maintain body heat and trap the heat in. And it can also just help you stay warm on a cold day, help you practice for if you're ever stranded somewhere and you have to build a fort or a shelter. Just little things like these could help you in a pretty major way, like sitting on leaves instead of sitting on sticks or just the ground could keep you warm. And possibly, I don't know, if you had to build a shelter somewhere in like Alaska or something, sitting on leaves or something could help you maybe not get hypothermia or sickness from cold or anything like that. I know usually when you're making a fort or something, you just kind of think that leaves on the ground would kind of be more of a mess and kind of be harder and it'd stick to your clothes and everything. it might stick to you, but it also give you a bit of help with the warmth and the cold outside, and just really anything you might need it for, like maybe not getting hypothermia or something like that. But this is just a simple little teepee shape, and no matter what you want to do with it, you could wrap it with a tarp, but you need to lean more sticks against it. Like here, I'll go grab a stick off the ground and show you. All right, I'll use this. It's bigger than my other stick, but I'll just break it down to size. How about there? Nope, that didn't work. About here will work. So if I lean a bunch of sticks like these here, where they form a triangle in them individually, in between the corners, or anything like the corner, like this, where it's flat from the other to the other corner, anything like that would be better for if you had a tarp, or if you had a something like a tarp, or if you lined the edges with moss or something to kind of cover it. It would help a lot with maintaining body temperatures and helping you stay cold, or if it's really hot out and you need a little bit of help with the cold or staying cool and it's really, really hot out, a place like this could also help you stay cool by keeping in cool air, or keeping out hot air and keeping in cool air, or vice versa, whichever way you want to, whatever you want to do with it. Oh snap. So it doesn't matter what type of thing you put on the around the edge of it. It just matters of what you use, because what you use could help you stay warm on a cold day, or it could also have holes in it, like a tarp. If that gets holes in it, it could let water through or something, and if a big hole forms or something, that's not good. But you know, something like this could also help you stay warm, or even stay alive possibly. But right now I'm just grabbing little sticks like these to kind of make it more of a shape, and with that more definitive shape, it can help a tarp or something, and it could maybe give you a bit more extra room. Here's a stick right here that also fit in good. And basically, a stick like that could also help you. You could also take one stick from another thing, and like, if you watch my other video on how to build an A-frame tent, that could also help you stay alive or something. Like, you could use one stick from this fort and go turn it into an A-frame. Because this, right now, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sticks, with counting the stick I haven't added yet, haven't found yet. And I don't have a tarp with me, unfortunately. I used that tarp on a different fort in a previous video, if you might have seen that already. It was my fort that I just made. It was a different type of A-frame tent. If you haven't seen that one, go watch it. It could also help you stay surviving and help deal with warmth and other things like that. And like, ta-da, like this, I just leaned a random stick up against it, but like this, you just lean sticks up. It gives it more of a shape. If you lean them out, it could kind of help with keeping a tarp all out of your face if you were using a tarp. I'm gonna set my phone down to kind of make this stick work a bit better. But it could help you survive, and if you even had to, you wouldn't have very much space to do this. But if you absolutely had to, you could dig a fire pit. If you made a bigger one, you could dig a fire pit, a very deep fire pit, either a deep fire pit for a very shallow fire, dig a deeper pit for a bigger fire, but a shallower pit for a more shallow fire will also help. And really, any type of fire, if it's a medium-sized fire, dig a medium-sized hole. A hole where maybe your fire could be level with the ground. The top of the fire is level with the ground that you dug it from, or you dug in from. And then just 3 extra sticks I picked up off the ground could give you a bit more shape in your tent. And then I'll just move this one and sit down real quick in it. This isn't a real big tent I made. It's just a quick tent I threw together from materials around me. Because like I said in my first video, this tent is from materials in this little square of fencing that we found on our property that we own. There's just a chunk of, there's like a square made by multiple barbed wire fences coming together in corners and things like that. And it forms like a square, and these materials have only been gathered from that square. So this is just a quick little shelter that can fit me, and if I had a tarp, it'd kind of cover around here better, and it would help conceal you and keep you warm. And you could build this a shorter one with a wider stance, so you get more room at the bottom, but it's shorter at the top. Or you could also, one thing you could do is dig a pit. Dig like a pit big enough for you to sit in comfortably, or do something in, or sit in or lay in or something like that. And then build a teepee around it, because that could also help you stay really warm. Because just the dirt itself, on the top layer of dirt, like if I do this layer of dirt right here that I just covered up or undug, doesn't keep you very warm itself. But if you go deeper, that dirt will kind of carry heat. It'll kind of contain the heat like an oven, basically. It's kind of like a brick oven or stone oven or something like that. It'll kind of contain heat good, but it won't really, but it's kind of hard to start it to give it heat at first. It takes a decent amount of heat for it to kind of gain that heat keeping ability, because it's kind of like a vacuum basically down there. It doesn't get cold unless you make it, or it won't get hot unless you make it. And this has just been a video on how to build a simple little teepee shaped survival area, to where if you had to survive with one of these or something, you could just build a simple little teepee to survive in. And just trying to give a bit of extra knowledge on survival, to where, like I've been saying, if the earth does go down the drain, like it in The Walking Dead or something like that, that people will have knowledge where they'll be capable of surviving off of the land and without much help from others and reliance on technology or anything else. The only technology I've been using to make these forts is, what's it called? Paracord, a machete, a club I made out of a chunk of wood, and my hatchet. And then the other stuff is just the knowledge of how to build one of these forts. And it's not the sturdiest, but then again, it doesn't also have to carry much weight either. Because as long as the stick can support its own weight, or it can support more than its own weight, you're set. And then even if you had to, say the wind has been blowing towards you from that side, which would be from the south side, and your fire's on the north side of your tent, of your little shelter, you could also place up more sticks, and then like moss or anything else like it. Dry leaves could be good. If you could kind of find something to keep the leaves on there, that could be good to kind of block wind. And then you could also do that on all the sides, to where it's possible to just kind of trap the wind out of your fort and your shelter. And right now I'm just packing up my bag because I have to post these videos and stuff. And these videos have just been simple ways to build a livable shelter that could possibly help you stay alive. So, well, good luck surviving, and bye.